It's time for Cactus League Baseball. Plenty of warm sunshine, bright green grass, and a renewed rivalry as the White Sox visit Mesa. Plenty of the big boppers are in the lineup as Dusty has pledged to never take the Sox lightly. We are coming to you from Ho-Ho-Camp Park in lovely Mesa, Arizona, as Comcast Sportsnet presents Chicago Cubs baseball. This afternoon, the Cubs and Sox will meet up for the first time this spring here in Cactus League action. And we welcome you to Cubs baseball for 2005. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Let's talk some pitching today, partner. A couple of guys who I think will be big keys for Dusty Baker's club are going to pitch today. Ryan Dempster and left-hander Glendon Rush.
Well, we've had a chance to see Dempster throughout this spring. The big concern with him is where is he at in his recovery from Tommy John surgery. Been throwing the ball extremely well this spring, racking up big strikeout totals in his couple of games that he's pitched. And Dempster initially thought of to be possibly a candidate for the closer's role, but also being stretched out, working some innings in the event he ends up in middle relief or possibly that fifth starter. Glendon Rush, on the other hand, one of the most versatile pitchers in Major League Baseball. We talk about versatility with position players. This is a guy that was equally effective last year, whether he was pitching out of the rotation or out of the bullpen. And being one of the few lefties on the roster, you got to figure he likes his chances to make the ball club. The question is, what will his role be?
Well, Ryan Dempster will get the start. Glendon Rush will pitch after him. And projected opening day starter left-hander Mark Burley will go for the White Sox. So we'll have baseball coming up from Ho-Ho-Camp Park. It's Nomar and the Cubs against the Sox next. Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your local area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Chevy, see your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer today. Aflac, ask about it at work. Toyota, choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. Southwest Airlines, nonstop service to over 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. And by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. Check out our new models at lincolnmercury.com.
The American Revolution drives into March, and we're bringing our A game with the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Now get bonus cash on a huge selection of Chevy vehicles. Use that bonus to lease an 05 Chevy Trailblazer LS 4-wheel drive for around $325 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. Big deals for the big dance, but hurry, offers end March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Get 4 after 4 for only $10.99 at Subway restaurants. Perfect for a quick dinner. 4 subs made fresh just the way you like it, right in front of you. 4 after 4. Any 4 regular 6-inch subs every day after 4 p.m. for only $10.99. Pick up dinner for the whole family. 4 6-inch subs on your choice of Subway's fresh-baked gourmet bread. Wow, 4 6-inch subs for only $10.99 after 4 p.m. 4 after 4. Subway, eat fresh.
The all-new M is here. From Infinity.
Legends set the standard. From the very beginning, Jack Benyon made his reputation by creating the finest casino experience. And more than ever, we offer exceptional service and the most generous rewards in the business. It's what we do, and no one does it better. So come and discover legendary indulgence only at Jack Benyon's Horseshoe Casino Hammond.
Push-button start, designed to put 335 horsepower at your fingertips. The luxury sedan, designed to outperform. Introducing the all-new M from Infinity.
Boy, a great crowd for a Monday afternoon. We would expect no less as the Sox and the Cubs match up here in Arizona. First of 2 Cactus League meetings. And these 2 clubs will also match up 6 times during interleague play in 2005. In fact, they'll meet at the friendly confines on May 20th. So an early interleague matchup during the season. Always fun when these 2 teams get together.
You suppose you give me some tickets for those games at Wrigley?
We will have a good seat. I can promise you that. Dusty Baker's club 6-6 thus far. The Sox are 6-7. Well, let's check out the White Sox starting lineup. Ozzie Guillen and his crew came up from Tucson for today's game. Willie Harris will play second. Uribe, Rowan, Canerco, Joe Portrait. We'll get you the rest of it here as we are underway. Harris fouls that one. 4 strike 1. A.J. Pierzynski's going to catch. Ryan Sweeney in left. Wilson Valdez at third. And Mark Burley is on the mound. Here comes Ryan Dempster. And another foul the other way. Ryan will go 3 or 4 innings today, depending on the pitch count. The next pitch just outside to make it 1-2. 71 degrees. Things have cooled off a little bit, but another picture perfect day here in the Valley. Well, Bob, what's the key for Ryan Dempster?
Oh, I think throwing strikes more than anything else. What we've seen so far in the early going this spring, his arm appears to be back physically. Throwing the ball very hard as that ball's fouled down the first baseline. His breaking stuff appears to be very crisp. At times, and it's to be expected, his mechanics don't always seem to be as smooth and as in rhythm as you would like to see. But it is early in the spring, and that's why we come down here to Arizona. Work on things like that. But physically, he certainly appears to be back.
It's now 3-2 on the leadoff man Harris. Juan Uribe will follow. Kerry Wood originally was supposed to start today. We'll have an update on Kerry Wood. Also a Mark Pryor update. Good play by Jerry Hairston. And will start at second. And he throws out Harris. Nicely done. And that'll bring up Juan Uribe. Jerry Hairston started in center over in Tempe yesterday and had a couple of outfield assists. He's very good defensively. Second base is his natural position. 2 bouncer knocked down by Ramirez, but he won't even make a throw. Uribe will reach.
Not surprising to see Uribe swing at the first pitch. One of the more aggressive hitters in Major League Baseball. Doesn't usually get more than 2 or 3 pitches into the at-bat. Ramirez tried to make that play on the short hop. Just couldn't come up with it cleanly and wisely holds on to the ball. He had no chance to get Uribe after the bobble.
So that's an infield hit for Uribe, and it brings up the center fielder Aaron Rowan. Yeah, Kerry Wood, of course, took himself out of his start last week after a couple of innings and was diagnosed with bursitis in his pitching shoulder. He did throw today off flat ground and hopefully will be on the mound in the next couple of days.
Well, in talking with Kerry before the ball game down in the training room, he kind of poo-pooed the whole thing off. Didn't seem to think it was anything serious. And once again, it is spring training. Always want to err on the side of caution. You know, for a young player that's trying to make his way in the major leagues, make a name for himself in spring training, it might be a different story. But Kerry Wood really has nothing to prove. You want to make sure he's healthy come opening day of the regular season. We really don't care what his record is in the Cactus League.
1 strike on Rowan. Slider just missed. Well, we like to say no news is good news, and unfortunately some other news today. Mark Pryor will not make his scheduled start tomorrow. He has some elbow inflammation. Now Mark kind of said the same thing that Kerry Wood said. He's not that concerned, and he's hoping it's just the normal inflammation that a lot of pitchers feel in spring training. And he also said it's not the same injury as last year. Elbow bothered him last year. Runner on the move. That one rocketed past Nomar. Uribe will end up at third, and the White Sox have him at the corners with just one out.
That's something you figure to see a lot of from the White Sox this year. A little different look to this ball club. Maglio Ordonez is gone. Carlos Lee is gone. But the additions bring a lot more speed to this ball club. We know Ozzie loves to turn those base runners loose whenever possible. That was a perfectly executed hit and run.
Well, the White Sox set a club record last year and tied for first in the majors with 242 home runs. But they'll try to be a lot more aggressive on the bases this year. How about this guy, Paul Konerko? 41 home runs last year. He takes the strike.
Yeah, the White Sox hit all those home runs last year with Ordonez and Frank Thomas. They're two bigger power sources on the shelf for major portions of the season.
The 0-1 pitch. Now 1-1. On some other health news, Dave Hansen is trying to make this team as a pinch hitter, backup player. Underwent an emergency appendectomy, so he's going to be out a couple of weeks. He'll get an out at second and at first. Inning-ending double play. So Dempster gets out of it. Sox with a couple of men on with just one out, but they fail to score. The Cubs are coming up when we come back.
Lots of Toyota cars, hundreds of choices. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event with thousands of amazing values. Now choose super low 1.9% financing for 36 months on the legendary Camry, America's #1 selling car, or the sleek Solara, or get 700 customer cash on either car. And check out the all-new reimagined 2005 Avalon. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event. Quality, selection, value. Now that's moving you forward.
Can't wait until April for baseball? Neither can we. That's why Comcast Sportsnet is delivering unprecedented spring training coverage. Get the first look at the new faces when we bring you the most spring training games ever shown. And our crew hits the road to Tucson and Mesa to deliver the latest news and interviews every night on Sports Night. It's coverage so in-depth, you'll feel like you're in Arizona. Well, except for the temperature. Spring training coverage all March long, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Chicago Tribune Live, the sports show that's got the whole town talking.
Never liked you guys.
Mike Ditka, John Paxson, Jerry Angelo, Mike Dorf.
He might be the worst professional athlete ever playing this game.
Ken Williams, Len Casper, Gary Fencing, Dennis Savard, Dale Talent, Richard Dent.
I have a gold record. I have a platinum video.
Jim McMahon, Norm Van Leer, Johnny Redkern, and Dick Butkus. Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Covering the bases Thursdays at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
It'll be Jerry Hairston to lead it off for the Cubs today, and he looks at strike one from lefty Mark Burley. Todd Walker recovering from a bit of the flu. But he's on the uptick. That's good. Hopefully he'll sleep well tonight. On the ground right side, and it's Harris with that short throw to Konerko for the first out. Let's check out the rest of the Cubs lineup today. It is written out by Dusty Baker. Corey Patterson coming up. He's in center. Nomar had a big day on Saturday, 3 for 3 with a home run. Ramirez, Lee, and Jeremy Brunitz will be the opening day starter in right. Jason DuBois has had a big spring. Barrett and Dempster make up the battery.
The numbers on Mark Burley last season. To call him a workhorse is probably an understatement. Led the American League with 245 and a third innings pitched last year. The first Sox pitcher to lead the league since another Sox pitcher, Wilbur Wood. But this is to tell we talked about this before the game, how the game has changed. 245 and a third led the American League last year. Wilbur Wood 359 and a third. Ooh.
Called strike 3, and quickly 2 down.
Granted, Wilbur Wood was a knuckleball pitcher, but 359 innings is 359 innings. I don't care how you carve it up. The bullpen, pretty sure you're going to have the day off, and Wilbur took them out.
Now those numbers for Nomar combined between the Red Sox and the Cubs, so he basically missed half a year with Achilles, wrist, and groin injuries. But healthy coming to camp. He drives that ball the other way. That's Borchert going after it. He won't catch up to it. Nomar on his way to second. Well, on television, he's 4 for 4. Or 3 for 3 the other afternoon on WGN.
And his 3 base hits on Saturday came to the opposite field. The home run almost to straightaway center. This ball driven into the gap in right center. Always a good sign in the early going when a hitter is driving the ball with authority to the opposite field.
So he's in scoring position for Ramirez, who set a club record for home runs by a third baseman last year with 36, breaking Ron Santo's 1965 record of 33. That's a fair ball, and Konerko will step on first and end the first. Well, the Cubs get a 2-out double from Nomar, failed to score. We move to the second from Mesa. 0-0.
People all over are waking up to a new kind of performance sedan. This is the first ever Pontiac G6. And things are a lot different in here. The first ever G6 starts around $19,800 after available cash back. With action, anything is possible. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
He broke it off. Who? Him.
5:30, 6:30, whatever you say. Right on the money. That would be excellent. Absolutely.
Okay, I think your turn is up.
But this is the only place I can get a good signal on my cell phone.
Mister, don't make me come up there.
Jerry, I think I'm going to lose you.
Need a better network? Switch to US Cellular and take our Best Network Challenge for 30 days. Then you'll be sure it's the best network for you. It's one more way we connect with you. US Cellular.
The Hyundai Sonata is winning families over. Named highest-ranked entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. That straight-A dedication to initial quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's loaded with standard features, but costs $2,200 less than a Toyota Camry Standard when comparably equipped. So come test drive your Hyundai Sonata, starting at just $15,894. At your Hyundai dealer. Get a 2005 Hyundai Sonata with up to $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Gear up for spring training at Cubs.com. Shop Cubs.com for the widest selection of Cubs jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Shop Cubs.com today. Switch hitter Joe Borchert chopped that one near the plate, and Hairston takes care of it. Good pick by Derek Lee. At the other end, Gold Glover in 2003, Derek Lee.
Don't anticipate him using that Gold Glove on a short throw from second base, but comforting to know for the infielders that Derek's going to pick just about anything you can throw over there. And you don't have a lot of time to react. Jerry Hairston's probably only about 25 feet away and throws him a nice sinker over there, but Derek Lee very agile, goes down, picks it out of the dirt.
Now the left-handed swinging catcher A.J. Pierzynski, former Twin and Giant. He will make contact. 471 at bats last year, walked 19 times. He struck out 27 times. Dempster works quickly, and that's fouled back. 1-2 on Pierzynski. Well, we got to look at Greg Maddux the other day. Went 4 innings, and Chad Fox sitting next to Maddux worked 1 inning yesterday against the Angels in Tempe, threw 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts.
Very efficient.
Chad said after the 8th pitch he thought, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to strike out the side on 9, and he did. Foul tipped into the glove. That's a strikeout. 2 quick outs here in the second.
You get to see something that happens rarely throughout the course of the regular season, as you just mentioned, Len. Strikeout by A.J. Pierzynski. He's got a piece of that, fouling it straight into the mid of Michael Barrett.
Now it's Ryan Sweeney getting the start in left. Scott Pisetnik will likely be the opening day left fielder. He's going to be the starter, but he was a center fielder. Looks like Aaron Rowan is going to be in center this year, and Pisetnik will make the switch and play left. He came over in that Carlos Lee deal with the Milwaukee Brewers. Speaking of Pisetnik.
Well, what that means for American League hitters is there is no gap in left center field when you play against the White Sox. Scott Pisetnik covers a tremendous amount of ground as a center fielder in the past, and as you said, projected as a left fielder this year.
Pitch to Sweeney. It is chopped up the middle. Easy play, Garcia Parra. And 1, 2, 3 go the White Sox in their half up to second. Derek Lee will lead off the bottom half when we come back to Mesa.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines, the airline committed to serving Chicago. From Midway Airport to cities in the West for just $79 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
A great matchup. Pitcher Mussina, hitter Ramirez. Mussina deals. Check swing by Ramirez, but he'll get another one. Whoa, up and in. Ramirez clearly looking for a pitch.
If you can read it, you can rip it. The Hitter's Eye, only in MVP Baseball 2005. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. To the game.
This is my city, the best city, where I grew up, got married, had a family. And the perfect vehicle for our family is the best, our Ford Explorer. Rush hour traffic, picking up from school, soccer, ballet, an evening alone. Explorer fits our lives, a DVD entertainment system, a great warranty, and room for all our stuff. Ford Explorer has it all, just like me.
Get $2,500 to $4,000 cash back, plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash, plus $1,000 owner loyalty cash on Ford Explorer. Built for Chicago, built for the road ahead.
The Arby's Chicken Cheddar Jack Wrap. Crispy chicken, 2 cheeses, thick-cut pepper bacon in a delicious wrap. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Underway here in the home half of inning number 2. And it's Derek Lee against Mark Burley. Well, each starter, they get the ball, they want to fire it right back in. It's 2-1 on Lee. You see, Derek played in 161 games last year. One of just 4 National Leaguers to appear in at least 160 games. It's going to get out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes on Lee. Burnett and Du Bois also due up this inning against Mark Burley, will make his 4th straight opening day start for the White Sox. Another pop-up, foul ground. Konerko will watch that one drop into the stands.
Then you mentioned both pitchers working very quickly. The defense loves that, especially the infield. They know they're up on their toes. They're ready to go. They know that pitcher's going to deliver the ball quickly.
That is a fair ball for Derek Lee into the left field corner. And it's a standing leadoff double for D. Lee. So a couple of doubles early on for the Cubs, and great to have with us in the booth in uniform Cubs left-handed reliever Mike Remlinger. How you doing, Mike? How you doing, Mike? Can you hear us? There you go. Well, we have a food drive coming up later this month here at Hohokam.
Yeah, I'm kind of pinch hitting for my wife right now. She's supposed to be here today, but wasn't able to get here. And the Cubs Wives Raffle and Food Drive's coming up on Thursday, the 24th.
Here's Jeremy Burnitz, and he drills that ball. That is deep.
Wind's knocking it down.
And it's going to be caught by Borchert. Tagging and heading to third is Derek Lee. So we'll check out the information on the upcoming food drive. Again, it's March 24th. The proceeds benefit Paz de Cristo Community Center here in Mesa. So bring your non-perishable food items, and cash donations always accepted.
There's also going to be a raffle after or throughout that people can bid on items. They're going to have various things. As long as they're present, people will be able to bid on those different items.
So we're going to see you in there today?
Yeah, hopefully not too soon before I get out of the booth. But we got Ryan and Glendon Rush are both going to probably go 3 or 4 today, so I'll probably be somewhere around the 8th or 9th.
All right, if we see Larry Rothschild or Dusty go to the left shoulder, we'll get you out of here. Fouled back by Du Bois.
But yeah, the food drive the wives do, they've been doing it for almost 10 years now, and it's just something. It's always great to give back to the community and bring in, whether it's a can of food or a donation or anything in between. It's always muchly appreciated.
Infield sneaking in for the White Sox, and that's inside. 1-1. You like this view from up here? I know some bullpens you have a good view, and others you have a terrible view of the field.
This is pretty nice. I was walking in and my son asked me where we were going, and I said to the best seat in the house. It's not always the case. There's a base at the left.
And Du Bois knocks in Derek Lee, and the Cubs are on the board first. It's 1-0. Boy, Du Bois came in at .375 on the spring with 3 home runs. And he knocked in his 4th run of the spring.
Well, Mike, you see this guy down in the clubhouse daily. Big, strong kid. I mean, when he hits it well, it goes a mile. And even on a pitch like this where he gets jammed a little bit, he's strong enough to muscle it into the outfield.
He really is a good hitter. He's got a lot of talent, and I think there's a perfect example right there. A ball that could in on him a little bit. He's still able to do the job.
The pitch to Michael Barrett, and strike 1. Mike, how you feeling? I know the shoulder was a concern last year, but I know you came to camp and said you felt like you were 100%.
Yeah, I feel really solid right now. I didn't throw the ball as great as I wanted to the other day, but I'm really looking forward to getting out there today and feeling like I have something behind the ball.
All right, who's in front of you now?
I have my son Chance here. He's been having a blast. He's on spring break right now. You want to wave? You can say hello to everybody. Unfortunately, there's a double play ball in there.
Hey, Mike, good luck today. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate you guys having me up here.
That's Mike Remlinger. We'll see him later on the mound. It's 1-0 Cubs after 2. Go.
Lots of Toyota models, hundreds of choices. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event with thousands of amazing values. Now choose 1.9% financing for 36 months on Highlander, Sequoia, or Sienna. Or get $750 customer cash and great leases on Highlander with available 3rd row seat or the roomy Sequoia. Get great leases on the 8-passenger Sienna, too. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event. Quality, selection, value. Now that's moving you forward.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Looking for complete sports coverage? Then you need Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Get a full recap of the day in sports.
Hi, there a plethora of activity going on.
With highlights. Look at this giant! Interviews.
We have to believe that we can be a playoff team.
It's always good to be back, and we're excited about the program.
And more time on the big stories.
Who? Name, please.
It's Chicago's most comprehensive sports show. Sports Night. Every night at 6:30, 10 at midnight, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Comcast Sportsnet, finally a station built for you, the Chicago sports fan. We cover the teams you care about. We're more than just a headline and a soundbite. Comcast Sportsnet gives you what you want when you want it. Mornings kickstart your day with sports runs. Nightly at 6:30, 10 at midnight, Sports Night has news, scores, highlights, and more. Add in lively discussions on Chicago Tribune Live, the most games anywhere, and the strongest post-game coverage around, and only one question is left. Are you fan enough? Chicago Tribune Live tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
But I got most of my big boys in there today. I don't know if that's an indicator or not.
Well, Dusty Baker talking about this matchup with the crosstown rival White Sox. 3rd inning, 1-0 Cubs. The pitch to Wilson Valdez. Another chopper. Ramirez moving to his left in front of Garcia Parra. And 1 away.
Dusty talking about playing the crosstown rivals and putting most of his horses in the lineup today. I know From my past life, when I was with the Giants and we used to play the Oakland A's in spring training, it always felt like there was a little more emphasis on winning that ball game. And I'm sure it's the same thing in Florida when the Mets and the Yankees hook up. You just you want to have bragging rights in the town where you play.
Pitch to Burley. That was smack foul. Well, Ryan Dempster really has settled in. Gave up back-to-back singles in the first inning. Got a double play ball to get out of it. 1, 2, 3 in the second. And another ground ball out to start the third. Two and 2 on Burley. Chance for the American League starting pitcher to get some at-bats. Looking ahead to interleague play.
Yeah, actually having a pretty good at-bat. At worst, as a pitcher, you want to see as many pitches as you can. Make your opposite number work a little bit out there on the mound, and the 6th pitch on the way. And it's ball 4.
So the first walk issued by Dempster. And you mentioned it earlier, walks have been an issue for Ryan at times in his career. It's very good stuff. Dempster walked 112 back in 2001 with Florida, but he won 15 games. Willie Harris came to camp without the starting position. Tadahito Iguchi slated to be the opening day second baseman. White Sox signed him out of Japan in the winter. Swing and a miss. High fly ball. And it's Corey Patterson now drifting in.
Considerably different conditions here today than we had on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, the wind was blowing straight out to center field. Every ball hit in the air seemed to carry to the warning track or beyond. Today, the wind kind of blowing in from left field across towards the right field corner, and probably punished that ball that Jeremy Burnitz hit. It appeared to be headed for the grass out there, and that wind just knocked it down.
Infield single for Juan Uribe in the first inning.
Also some clouds in the sky today, which I'm sure the outfielders are very grateful for.
The first clouds I've seen. I've been here a week.
If you've never been to the great Sonoran Desert, when you have one of those crystal clear sunny days without a cloud to be seen, it is darn near impossible to catch pop-ups. Some of the best Major League Baseball players you'll ever want to see, Gold Glove winners, can be made to look extremely silly down here in the Cactus League.
Ryan Dempster, 27 years old, signed as a free agent prior to 2004 as he was recovering from Tommy John surgery. Another one in the air, and this one's deep. Boy, Burnett's going back. He leaps, can't make the catch. In fact, it's a home run. Boy, that ball just kept carrying. That wind blowing out toward right, and Uribe with a 2-run homer. Burnett's almost made the catch. First spring home run for Uribe.
He looks like he's even a little bit surprised that ball carried out of here.
Strike one on Rowan.
No question, Uribe's got home run power. 23 bombs last year for the White Sox in 134 games. A lot of people kind of disregarded his 10 home runs in Colorado in 87 ball games because of the fact that it is Colorado, but it's a pitch up and out over the plate. Burnett's drifting back. It appeared with the naked eye. He got a glove on it. He did. Just hit the fingertips of the glove and rolled on over the fence.
Now, Jeremy Burnett is a good outfielder and can play all three spots. His job will be to play right this year, every day. But just couldn't make the catch. And what ended up being a 2-run home run. A terrific breakout year for Aaron Rowan last year. Hit .310 with 24 home runs. Another one high and deep. And Burnett's will watch it go. That one was crushed by Aaron Rowan.
Well, that one probably a home run regardless of conditions, but certainly that wind blowing out to the right field corner didn't hurt that one at all. Burnett's just gave it a couple of steps and then looked up, realizing that that ball was way out.
White Sox showing some of that power that Sox fans saw last year. Popped up by Konerko, shallow center, and calling for it is Hairston. He has it, and the Sox are done in the third, but they get back-to-back home runs. Juan Uribe with a 2-run homer, followed up by a long blast from Aaron Rowan. And it's 3-1 Sox.
The American Revolution drives into March. And we're bringing our A game with the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Now get bonus cash on a huge selection of Chevy vehicles. Use that bonus to lease an 05 Impala sedan for around $247 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for these details. Big deals for the big dance, but hurry, offers end March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
What I seek every single day is perfection. I want you to guess how many checks we process each day. Try more than 40 million, more than any other company in America. But what's truly impressive is the accuracy with which we take care of them. I'm Lance Drummond. I'm a banker. And I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. If you weren't a perfectionist, you couldn't do this job. One error in a million is simply unacceptable. So at Bank of America, we customize our own equipment. We engineer our own software, create our own quality control systems. To us, this is like an assembly line that is mission critical, meaning 0 defects. This isn't about processing nearly 11 billion checks a year flawlessly. It's a matter of accurately handling one single check and then repeating it 11 billion times.
Bank of America.
Tomorrow, the White Sox in their new look of...
One quick out here in the Cubs third as Ryan Dempster just flied to right. And great to have with us down near the dugout, Cubs hitting coach Gene Kleins. Gene, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, let's talk about this ball club. Of course, Moises Alou, now a San Francisco Giant, and Sammy Sosa's in Baltimore. So the offense, the scope of the offense changing a little bit here in 05.
It's going to change quite a bit. With this ball club we have assembled here, be a lot more creative. We're going to make things happen. You're going to see a lot more hitting and running, guys moving. So it's going to be an exciting baseball and not just relying on a home run.
Well, speaking of changes for this season, a little bit of a change for you and Gary Matthews. Sarge changing positions, but Dusty kind of downplays that since both of you guys worked with the hitters last year, and you'll continue to both work with hitters this year.
It's going to stay the same. You know, we both worked with the hitters last year, and we're going to continue to do the things we've done in the past.
All right, Corey Patterson's at the plate. Gene, we talked a little bit about Corey. What have you been working with Corey on?
The main thing with Corey is to try to get to the point where he doesn't have feet too close together. Really worked a lot on just reinforcing him, keeping both hands on the bat to try and keep it a short, compact swing.
1 strike to count. Hairston the runner at first, and Burley's going to throw over there. He has a very good pickoff move.
Well, Hairston, anybody of the Cubs should be familiar with him from playing in the American League last year. I'm sure he's seen plenty of Mark Buehrle, but a little bit fooled by that move.
Busted his bat. Look out at first base. Buehrle makes a catch, and Konerko trying to get out of the way of that flying bat. Boy, Gene, we see so many busted bats. It's really unbelievable.
I've never seen anything like it before, where these bats just completely explode.
Do you think that's a byproduct? I know a lot of people say the players are using thinner handles, but I know there's a lot more bat companies now. Do you think the quality control is what it should be?
I think the quality control has a lot to do with it. Plus, all these, these guys are using 31, 28, 32 ounce bats, and you're not going to get very good wood when you use a real light bat like that.
Now Garciaparra, who doubled his first time, right back to the pitcher, and Buehrle will throw out Nomar. Hey, Gene, we appreciate the time. We'll enjoy talking with you throughout the year.
Okay.
That's Cubs hitting coach Gene Clines. 3 in the books. It's 3-1 White Sox.
You think about the roads people drive on. How each one is different. Then you build a family of cars that treats them all the same. The 2005 Volvos with electronically controlled all-wheel drive. For confidence on any road.
MLB 2006. Nothing is more true to the game. Rated E for everyone.
When you've been recognized by J.D. Power & Associates as the most dependable heavy-duty full-size pickup truck, there's no need to be bashful. GMC Sierra, professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Tomorrow, 2 of the NBA's biggest surprises square off when Ben Gordon leads the Bulls into a shootout with Ray Allen and the Sonics, followed by Toyota Bulls postgame live. Bulls Sonics tomorrow night at 7:30. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet. In high definition where available.
Along with Bob Brenly and our Comcast Sportsnet crew, Len Casper from Mesa. Sox leading the Cubs today 3-1. On the 4th inning, Joe Borchert playing right. Whiffs on strike 1. It's 1-1. This will probably be it for Ryan Dempster this 4th inning, and then we'll see Glendon Rush. And Bob, you can't look too far down the road. Opening day is 3 weeks away. But with the uncertainty of Kerry Wood and now Mark Pryor, it's possible that Dempster and Rush could both end up possibly starting when the season begins.
That's not out of the question. I mean, sometimes you do things for one reason and it ends up working out for a completely different reason. Obviously, we hope Kerry and Mark Pryor are both able to take the ball on their regular turns when the season rolls around. But if not, Dempster and Glendon Rush will be prepared at that point to step in if necessary.
A couple of strikeouts for Dempster. Yurzinski Cade his first time up in the 2nd. Numbers for Ryan Dempster, just over 50 pitches. That's a gapper for Pierzynski. It splits Du Bois and Patterson. And that'll be a double for Pierzynski. The 5th hit for the White Sox. All right, our first Aflac trivia question here for 05. Where did the Cubs hold spring training during the World War II years of 1942 to 1945? We'll get you that answer in the bottom of this inning. Outside on Sweeney, ball one. The Cubs have been in Mesa for a long time. 29th spring. And last year set a major league record for spring training home attendance. Almost 190,000 fans showed up here at Hohokan.
Not to mention the fans that made the various treks around the Valley of the Sun or down to Tucson to watch their beloved Cubs play in spring training. Always in attendance high when the Cubs were the visiting team.
Kick and the 2-1 pitch. Just missed the zone on a slider. Brian has a changeup. He didn't use it working in short relief last year, but it is something he has used as a starter. Right side, diving stop, Jerry Hairston. Well, as advertised defensively, Jerry Hairston. And on to third on that play, Pierzynski.
You mentioned earlier second base is Hairston's natural position, and it certainly looks like it today. He's made a couple of real good plays ranging far to his left. Throws on to Derek Lee here to complete this play. This guy's a very, very valuable piece to have on a ball club, whether he's playing every day at one position or 4 or 5 days a week at various positions.
One ball, no strikes on Wilson Valdez. Good slider.
Especially Gene Klein's told us earlier that the Cubs figure to be a little more aggressive this year, try to play a little more hit and run, steal when the opportunity presents itself, and Hairston figures a guy to be right in the middle of that.
Well, Valdez with an RBI single. And now it's 4-1. Mark Burley hitting. We'll obviously see him in the bottom of this inning. Outside corner strike and a fastball. White Sox with 6 hits, including a couple of home runs. Well, if you had one sentence to describe Ryan Dempster off the field, I think life of the party would be a good way to describe it. To say he enjoys himself off the field would be a huge understatement. Has a comedic mind and just a lot of fun to be around. Good guy to have in the clubhouse. He'll keep everybody loose.
Takes his job very seriously, but everything else is fair game.
Nice grab by that Cubs fan. Kick and the 2-2, and Burley fouled that one off himself. Jerry Davis is behind the plate today, calling balls and strike. Jerry from the Midwest, from Wisconsin. Cousins, Danley, and Schreiber working the bases today. Called strike 3. So Ryan Dempster, 4 innings today, probably done for the afternoon. We hope to talk to him about his outing. It's 4-1 White Sox.
A great matchup. Pitcher Mussina, hitter Ramirez. Mussina deals. Check swing by Ramirez, but he'll get another one. Whoa, up and in. Ramirez clearly looking for a pitch.
If you can read it, you can rip it. The Hitter's Eye, only in MVP Baseball 2005. Rated for everyone. EA Sports. To the game.
Played lead in 3 different bands. I've been on stage at CBGB's and other clubs downtown. I've also got a van which can pretty much haul all this stuff around, so Cool, you're in. That's all right. I don't really like Heineken.
What did it mean, create these differences?
This is my city, where I work hard and play even harder. Just like my Ford F-150. It's built to fit my life. A comfortable, best-in-class interior. The power of a Triton V8, the hauling strength I need, and enough torque to tow just about anything. A day on the job or a night on the town, my Ford F-150 has it all.
Now lease a 2005 built Ford Tough F-150 for just $276 a month for 24 months. Built for Chicago. Built for the road.
Well, let's get the answer to the Aflac trivia question today. Where did the Cubs hold their spring training during World War II, 1942 to 45? French Lick, Indiana. I'm sure weather was a bit of a factor back then. That's a deep throw and a good one by Valdez as he throws out Ramirez. Well, some other spring training sites. Catalina Island from 46 to 51. And in Mesa here from 52 to 65 into California. Back to Scottsdale, and the Cubs have been back in Mesa since 1979.
I have to believe that spring training in French Lick would probably better prepare you for the early going at Wrigley Field than here in sunny Mesa, but we're glad to be here.
Is Larry Bird from French Lick, Indiana?
I believe he
Sounds
is.
familiar.
He used to climb the hit from French Lick.
Right. That's a bit of information that's been stuck in the portals of my brain for the last 15, 20 years, and we decided to use that today.
And now your brain is completely clear.
It is. Base hit, Derek Lee's 2 for 2. Well, as you notice, at number 25, no LEE above it. The Cubs on their home unis this year will not have their names, so the old look, I think it looks great. The more traditional look. Cubs have had their names on the home jerseys for over a decade, but I think it looks great.
I think it was more a byproduct of the fact that Nomar Garciaparra's name had to start, down by his belt and go all the way across the top and back down again.
So it's because of Garciaparra and Hollinsworth.
Hollinsworth, yeah, those two guys. Derek Lee had no problem. That was a piece of cake.
We'll have to ask marketing whizzes, John McDonough and Jay Blunk, if that's in fact the case. Was it because of Nomar's name? And Jeremy Burnitz, I mean, you take the name off his back, you put number 3 on him. You got the pant bottoms hiked up. He's got the Babe Ruth look down. I mean, he looks like an old-time ball player. No wristbands, no batting gloves. Burley's going to pick off Lee. Derek tagged out. Mark Burley led the majors last year with 10 pickoffs. And Bob, that's something the Cubs will certainly remember, assuming they face him during the regular season.
Well, that's one thing that you don't have during spring training that you would have during the regular season, that advanced scouting report. You pick off enough players during the course of the regular season. Those advanced scouts make notes of it in their reports that they turn into the manager, and he would appropriately then warn the players, be careful, this guy's got a real good move, maybe shorten up a little bit on your lead, and be aware of it. And it's one thing to read it in a scouting report and another thing to see it firsthand.
Jeremy Burnett signed as a free agent late in the offseason after the Cubs made the Sammy Sosa trade. 37 home runs for the Rockies last year for Burnett. Easy play for Willie Harris. And he throws out Burnett to end the Cubs' 4th inning. We'll move to inning number 5. Sox and the Cubs today, with the White Sox leading 4-1.
Hyundai has 2 award-winning SUVs, including the all-new Hyundai Tucson, named Best New Small SUV by Kiplinger's, with 6 standard airbags. And the Hyundai Santa Fe, winner of Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award, featuring V6 power standard. Both have spacious interiors and quality backed by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. So get your award-winning SUV starting at just $18,094, only at Hyundai. Get your award-winning SUV for just $18,094 at your local Hyundai dealer.
They're young, they're intense, and they're thinking playoffs. Kirk Heinrich and the young Bulls are primed to use team play, hustle, and defense to get to the postseason. And down the stretch, we're with them every step of the way.
It's showtime.
Big games. In-depth post-game coverage. And news, notes, and interviews every night on Sports Night. The Chicago Bulls are in the thick of it. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet. Can't wait until April for baseball? Neither can we. That's why Comcast Sportsnet is delivering unprecedented spring training coverage. Get the first look at the new faces when we bring you the most spring training games ever shown. And our crew hits the road to Tucson and Mesa to deliver the latest news and interviews every night on Sports Night. It's coverage so in-depth, you'll feel like you're in Arizona. Well, except for the temperature. Spring training coverage all March long, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
Top of the order now for the White Sox, and a new Cubs pitcher, lefty Glendon Rush, as he works to Willie Harris. Backhanded play. Jerry Hairston. He's been busy at second. As we get a look at the numbers for Glendon Rush, a terrific comeback here after a very rough 2003.
And this is a guy whose strength is throwing strikes. This is a guy that puts the ball over the plate with some movement. Ideally, he gets hitters to attack early in the count, put the ball in play, lets his defense work behind him. Pitched 3 innings against the Royals back on the 8th, gave up 4 hits and a couple of runs in that outing.
Ryan Dempster went 4 innings today, gave up 6 hits and 4 runs. Sky high, and Garcia Parra will be called off by Hairston. Jerry Hairston's been all over the place today. I'll get a complete recap of the day in sports with Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Coming up tonight at 6:30, a Kerry Wood update. The Illini march to the Arch. The Lady Blue Demons get the number 5 seed in the Chattanooga Regional. Join Kerry Sayers and Pat Boyle for Sports Night tonight at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Aaron Rowan is 2 for 2, the long home run his last time up. Another high fly ball deep to right center field, way back, and this one is going to go. Well, what a day for Aaron Rowan. He came in 10 for 21 in the spring, and he's 3 for 3 with 2 big flies the other way. Cubs fan made that catch, and the ball ends up back on the field. All right, they're in regular season form.
He can go on back to Chicago. He's ready. It was tremendous opposite field pop here once again. Got a little help from the wind, but don't really think it needed much help. Nice play out there by a fan, and of course, you have to figure he's a Cub fan, what he does with this ball here.
Pretty good arm. See, the thing is, he's a hero now, but he'll be icing his shoulder tomorrow. Konerko nothing for 2. In on the hands, and he fouled it back. And we'll have one more Cubs telecast here on Comcast Sportsnet here from Mason. It'll be a week from this coming Sunday, March 27th, as the Padres come in. Deep to left. In the corner, and it's going to be off the fence. Konerko thought that might have been a home run. He kind of had the home run trot, but again, I think the wind held that one up.
So that right into the teeth of the wind, blowing in from left field across to the right field corner. I think you're right. I think Konerko thought he got enough of that one to get it out of here, but the conditions today just wouldn't let it get out of here. Get another look at it. That ball hits very high up on the fence.
Joel Borchard goes the other way, and that one is out of here into the bullpen. Well, we talked about Ozzie Guillen wanting to be more aggressive on the bases this year. The White Sox showing all kinds of power. That's their 4th home run today. 7-1.
Another opposite field home run. You can see that pitch up and over the plate, belt high. Burnitz just isn't playing deep enough. He needs to be on the other side of that fence. Well, they make it look so easy. The wind blowing out to right field, and a fan at home may ask yourself, well, why doesn't everybody just try to hit the ball to right field? It's not that easy. You know, the idea for a major league hitter is just hit the ball hard wherever it's pitched and let it go where it may. But White Sox certainly taking advantage of the conditions here today.
Easy is not a word that you use very much when it comes to this game. Here's Zinski, deep right center, and yet another.
Jeez.
3 home runs this inning for the White Sox. Man, oh man. And Larry Rothschild, the Cubs pitching coach, heading out to try to settle down Glendon Rush. We got a couple of quick outs to start this inning.
I mentioned Rush, a guy that throws the ball over the plate, depends on his defense to work behind him, but elevating a lot of pitches. Belt high and above. White Sox hitting those balls up in the air, and that plate's a little slippery today, AJ. Take it easy there. Hate to see somebody get hurt stepping on home plate after a home run.
The wind and the 1 strike is also a strike. 0-2 on Ryan Sweeney. Has those hands out in front of his body from the left side. You mentioned that 0-3 season with Milwaukee. Brendan will lollipop that throw over to Derek Lee, and finally the inning comes to an end. The White Sox get 4 more. 3 home runs and now lead 8-1.
In giving you the best Lexus deal around.
Get the luxurious 2005 RX with heated leather trim seats and more for only $399 a month. Plus, get the Arlington Lexus Advantage, which includes service open till 11 p.m. weekdays, available pickup and delivery service, and much more.
Superior service without exception. Bob Roman's Arlington Lexus in Palatine. Just 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road, Palatine.
The Great Escape announces its once-a-year winter warehouse clearance sale, where all 2004 models must go to make room for 2005. Prices on all 04 above-ground pools slash 25 to 70%. Floor models, scratch and dents priced even less. Plus, buy now and get free installation this spring, guaranteed. Save up to 70% on Jacuzzi, Sundance, and Cal floor models. Plus, get no payments and no interest until 2006. For the lowest prices and the best selection on pools, spas, patio, and billiards, shop the greatest...
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggers in the Comcast Sportsnet studios, and here's what's coming up today on Chicago Tribune Live at 5:30. Cubs pitcher Mark Pryor will miss his next scheduled start because of inflammation in his elbow. Now, the team says an MRI shows his problem is not related to last season's injuries. And the Fighting Illini getting ready for the NCAA tournament. They'll face Fairleigh Dickinson Thursday night at 8:40 in the opening round down in Indianapolis. We'll have those stories and a whole lot more at 5:30. But right now, let's send it back to Lynn and Bob.
All right, thank you, Dan. It's 8-1 White Sox as the Cubs bat in their half of inning number 5. And Mark Burley still on the hill. He's allowed 1 run through 4. In fact, the first run he has allowed here in spring training. This is his 3rd Cactus League start. It's fouled away by Jason DuBois, who knocked in the lone Cubs tally in the 2nd. Great to have you with us this afternoon for Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. I mentioned Burley led the American League in innings pitched last year, tied for 1st in starts and complete games. There's a strikeout. It's his 2nd K this afternoon. He has not walked a batter. Sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers its readers exclusive player features, team analysis, and unparalleled minor league coverage every month. Subscriptions start at just $24.95. That one's deep and out of here off the light pole. Michael Barrett. Now the Cubs getting into the action here, lifting that ball the other way. He crushed it. First home run of the spring for Michael Barrett.
Another ball elevated, up and out over the plate. Barrett stays on it, drives it to the opposite field. Once again on another day, probably a double to the gap, maybe off the fence, but the ball hit about a 1/4 of the way up the light pole out there in right center field.
Well, Glendon Rush can handle the bat. Couple of home runs last year. Just got a piece of it. And it's 1-2. 3 career home runs for Rush. See if he went around. He did not. Now, Bob, I know there are fans. I said he can handle the bat. They'll see 153 and they'll say, Len, you're nuts. It's not about the average because these guys don't hit that much. I mean, he gives himself a chance every time up.
Yeah, put the ball in play, you know, and maybe move a runner from 2nd to 3rd or from 1st to 2nd to set the table for the guy coming up behind him. He'll get his share of hits, but the ground ball right there, had there been a runner at 2nd base, he's going to advance the guy to 3rd. And sometimes that's all you ask out of your pitchers. Give us a productive out. See a lot of pitches, put the ball in play, make the defense make a play.
Going to get a pinch hitter for Hairston. It'll be switch hitter Nathan Perez, who will bat right-handed against the lefty Burley. Nathan will be the backup in the middle of the infield. Cubs have a lot of depth in that area with Hairston and Perez and Jose Macias. Popped up. This one's drifting near the Cubs dugout, and in fact about 4 rows behind the dugout.
And those 3 guys you mentioned all give Dusty a lot of versatility. They all play multiple positions. They all run a little bit better than average. Late in the game when you need to make double switches, or depending on what you're trying to do strategically as a manager, it really helps to have guys available that you can put in at different positions.
Comes Burley's pitch. Another broken bat. Uribe from short. Throw to first. Michael Barrett with a 1-out opposite field home run for the Cubs here in the 5th. It has been a day of home runs mostly for the White Sox, and they lead 8-2.
The new 2006 all-wheel drive GS. The next phenomenon from Lexus. At your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
It's a school day in perfect. Here,
students arrive in a timely fashion. There are always enough supplies to complete your class project. And even the teachers have a hard time coming in from recess. Of course, life isn't always perfect, so there's Walgreens, open every day, many 24 hours, with everything needed for school. That's life. This is Walgreens.
First came the award-winning CTS. And now comes the all-new STS. Lightning strikes twice. Cadillac, breakthrough. Visit your Chicagoland area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer. Residency restrictions apply.
Tomorrow, the White Sox and their new look offensive attack are primed for another spring training battle when they host the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. White Sox Angels tomorrow at 1. Get your game on the new home for White Sox baseball, Comcast Sportsnet.
6th inning now, all White Sox today. 5 home runs for the Southsiders. Wilson Valdez fouling back against Lyndon Rush. He gave up 3 of those home runs in the 5th inning alone. White Sox with 10 hits. The Cubs have 6 today. Chopper, good pick. Aramis Ramirez. That is not an easy play. They have one shot at it.
It's all about reaction. Well, you have to break in on that ball immediately to come in and get that short hop, and you see Ramirez comes in, sweeps that ball up on the short hop, and then it's just an easy throw on the move across the infield to Derek Lee. If you hesitate at all, you're going to get that tough in-between hop.
Mark Burley, with his 3rd plate appearance, walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Caught looking on strikes in the 4th. Rush works from the 3rd base side of the rubber. Now, everybody's different. Some pitchers, depending on whether they're right-handed, left-handed, the stuff they throw will work from different sides of the rubber. A lot of it's comfort as well, and a lot of it's approach, what you're trying to do to the hitter. Swing and a miss. Well, Mark Burley has thrown just 51 pitches.
Their son's forward Sean Marion, all-star Sean Marion, enjoying a ball game here today. Their son's having some kind of season this year.
Boy, you're right. Oh, Glendon Rush retired the first 2 men in the 5th inning. And then 4 straight extra base hits, including 3 home runs. See if things change here in the 6th. And a strike on Willie Harris. Slicing fly ball. Jose Macias now playing left on the move. Dives, almost caught it. Good effort. That is a foul ball. Almost a dandy of a catch for Jose Macias.
Boy, great effort by Macias. The wind pushing that ball away from him on the dead run. A full-out dive. Looked like he might have just got a piece of leather on it, but not enough to make the play. Still a great effort.
And that ball was about 2 inches from being fair as well.
As the conditions have shown today, as a left fielder, you can probably play several steps more shallow than you normally would.
Tapper, Ramirez charges. Bare hands won't make the throw. Harris runs well. And he has an infield hit. Swinging bunt for Willie Harris.
Boy, if somebody could perfect that, he'd hit about 500 over the course of the season.
Well, I think Ichiro's close. He can just about place it wherever he wants.
As you mentioned, Harris with great speed gets a pitch down, just chops it off the dirt there next to home plate. Nice play by Ramirez, but wisely, no throw across the infield.
First pitch swinging is Uribe. And under it, Derek Lee. The White Sox get that infield hit with 2 outs, but do not score. They still lead, however, 8-2.
Only one car has factory-installed keyless remote start, and it's not a Honda Accord. Only one car has the first and largest 4-panel panoramic roof available, and it's not a Toyota Camry. And it's not a Nissan Altima 2.5 with the most powerful standard V6 in its class. It's the first ever Pontiac G6. The first ever G6 starts around 19.8 after available cash back. With action, anything is possible. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
Baseball is back, and Comcast Sportsnet is covering the bases like you've never seen. Every weekend up close and personal with the Cubs and Sox. Learn the latest news and see how players spend their downtime in the desert. Covering the bases Thursdays at 7 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Comcast Sportsnet, finally a station built for you, the Chicago sports fan. We cover the teams you care about. We're more than just a headline and a soundbite. Comcast Sportsnet gives you what you want when you want it. Mornings kickstart your day with sports runs. Nightly at 6:30, 10 and midnight, Sports Night has news, scores, highlights, and more. Add in lively discussions on Chicago Tribune Live, the most games anywhere, and the strongest post-game coverage around, and only one question is left. Are you fan enough? Every night, get the sports news you care about with Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. It's Chicago's most comprehensive sports show. All the day's news, scores, highlights, interviews, and more. Sports Night at 6:30, 10 and midnight only on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's Corey Patterson batting second today, but leading off this 6th inning. And Mark Burley still going strong, just over 50 pitches through 5, so he's now in his 6th inning of work. Patterson is 0 for 2 today. Fly ball right field. Calling it in is Borchard.
Very efficient outing today for Mark Burley, utilizing his changeup to very good effect today, throwing a lot of strikes. And a lot of the Cub hitters have been very aggressive early in the count, as have the White Sox hitters. Both teams being very aggressive.
Base hit left field, Nomar. With his second hit today, he's 2 for 3.
This is usually about the point of the game you start seeing pinch runners for the guys that started the ball game. It looks like we're going to have here Cody Ransom coming on to run for Nomar Garciaparra. Will more than likely stay in and play shortstop.
Thinking like a manager up here.
Well, you know, you
got a feel for it.
You want to get your guys out of there on an up note if possible. And Nomar's certainly having a great spring, but get him a base hit, get him out of there, let him do his running and his weightlifting, and get on home. Had Nomar popped up, struck out, done something of that ilk, you may think about leaving him in for one more AB, but might as well call it a day.
The pitch to Ramirez, line shot off the glove of Valdez. That's a fair ball. Kicks around in the corner. Sweeney will get it back in. Sliding into third is Ransom, and Ramirez with a double. Now they're calling it a single, and he went to second on the throw back to the infield.
Once again, a lot of first pitch hacking in that ball game. That ball just did tip off the glove of the third baseman down into the corner. I think that should have been a double all the way. They had no play at third. They had no play at second. A routine double down the left field line.
I agree. Derek Lee with a base hit. Ransom's going to score, and I believe that's Danny Clausen now pinch running. So he's at third. D. Lee's 3 for 3. It's 8-3. We just had a shot of Chris Spire, the Cubs' new third base coach. Played for the Cubs, coached on your Diamondbacks World Series winning team back in 2001.
Well, he was the third base coach for our team that year, and a very aggressive third base coach, but he does his homework. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of the outfielders, knows when you can take advantage. He knows his own club very well. All we ask, like any third base coach, is for your players to run hard all the time. It's much easier for a third base coach if you have base runners who go hard.
Angel Echeverria, pinch running for Lee at first. Well, a day of offense today here in Mesa. Inside on Burnitz. Cubs trying to get back into this one. And 3 straight hits here in the 6th off the starter, Mark Burley. Burnitz hooks this one foul.
Fans have come to expect any ball hit in the air to the right side to blow on out of here. As soon as that ball left the bat, there was a roar from the crowd. And this is why you can't take spring training numbers too seriously. I mean, obviously everybody wants to do well. They'd like to throw up zeros as a pitcher, like to get your hits and RBIs as an offensive player, but you're going to run into the occasional day like this when the wind is just howling out to right field. There's going to be a few cheap home runs hit, a few balls drop in, and that's why most players don't put too much emphasis on the numbers that you rack up down here in Arizona.
Tomahawked into left, but it's going to be caught by Sweeney, tagging and heading toward the plate, and scoring is Clausen. It's 8-4. That'll be a sac fly for Burnitz. We talked about this the other day. In situations like this, runner at third, less than 2 outs, find a way to get him home, and Burnitz did it with that sac fly.
And a lot of it starts with your mental preparation as you get into the batter's box. Know what the situation is. Know what it is you need to do to get that runner home from third. That time, Burnitz looking for a ball up that he knew he could lift into the air to the outfield.
First at bat for Jose Macias. He tripled on Saturday against the Angels. Foul tipped into the middle. Two runs home for the Cubs here in the 6th. They trail 8-4. I mentioned these two teams will meet up at Wrigley May 20th through the 22nd. And then again at U.S. Cellular Field June 24th through the 26th. Left center field. This is very deep. And Jose Macias with extra bases. Echeverria rounding third, heading home. And it's 8-5. The Cubs offense really getting it going here in the 6th. RBI double for Macias.
Finds that gap in left center field. We just started to talk last half inning about left fielders being able to play a little more shallow. And with the wind pushing everything to right field, center fielder Rowan was cheating over a little bit into the gap in right center that allowed that ball to drop in the left center field gap.
And Ozzie Guillen heading up to take the ball from Mark Burley. We're at 5 2/3 today. So the Cubs with 3 runs here in the inning, now trailed by 3, couple of outs. We'll have a new pitcher for the White Sox when we come back.
You broke it off. Who? Him.
5:30, 6:30, whatever you say. Right on the money. That would be excellent. Absolutely.
Okay, I think your turn is up.
But this is the only place I can get a good signal on my cell phone.
Mister,
Jerry.
don't make me come up there.
Jerry, I think I'm going to lose you.
Need a better network? Switch to US Cellular and take our Best Network Challenge for 30 days. Then you'll be sure it's the best network for you. It's one more way we connect with you. US Cellular.
Legends always lead. For over 50 years, Jack Binion's uncompromising vision has been at the heart of everything we do. And our commitment to offering the best odds, highest limits, and biggest jackpots remains as strong as ever. So come and discover legendary winning only at Jack Binion's Horseshoe Casino Hammond.
The American Revolution drives into March, and we're bringing our A game with the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Now get bonus cash on a huge selection of Chevy vehicles. Use that bonus to lease an 05 Chevy Trailblazer LS 4-wheel drive for around $325 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. Big deals for the big dance, but hurry, offers end March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
A ton of offense today for the White Sox and the Cubs. 21 hits, 13 runs combined. Cubs back in it, down just 3. John Atkins, a right-hander, on for the Sox, and for the Cubs, Giovanni Soto dribbles one up the middle, fielded by Uribe. And the Cubs' 6th comes to a close. 4 hits, 3 runs. We move to the back third. It's 8-5 White Sox.
With more flights to more places than ever before, America is your backyard. Southwest Airlines, we're taking low fares farther.
You are now free to move about the country.
The all-new M is here. From Infinity.
Get 4 after 4 for only $10.99 at Subway restaurants. Perfect for a quick dinner. 4 subs made fresh just the way you like it right in front of you. 4 after 4. Any 4 regular 6-inch subs every day after 4 p.m. for only $10.99. Pick up dinner for the whole family. 4 6-inch subs on your choice of Subway's fresh-baked gourmet bread. Wow, 4 6-inch subs for only $10.99 after 4 p.m. 4 after 4. Subway, eat fresh.
Push button start, designed to put 335 horsepower at your fingertips. The luxury sedan, designed to outperform. Introducing the all-new M from Infinity.
Tomorrow, the White Sox and their new-look offensive attack are primed for another spring training battle when they host the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. White Sox Angels tomorrow at 1. Get your game on the new home for White Sox baseball, Comcast Sportsnet.
Tuesday, 2 of the NBA's biggest surprises square off when Kirk Heinrich and the Bulls tip off against Ray Allen and the Sonics. Coverage starts with a full hour of sports night at 6:30. Bulls Sonics Tuesday night at 7:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Len and Bob with you. We're in the 7th inning today. And the Cubs trail the White Sox 8-5. Big day for Aaron Rowan. 2 home runs. He's 3 for 3. One ball, 2 strikes. A lot of kids at the ballpark today. Fouled back to the netting. Still 1-2.
Well, there'll be a lot of kids for the remainder of spring, or at least for the next week. Spring break started down here in Arizona this week for the public schools, so a lot of the youngsters that normally would be listening to Mrs. McGillicuddy talk about science are out here enjoying a ball game.
You talk about pop. Last year, Aaron Rowan finished 7th in the American League in slugging. Lifts one in the air. Shallow right field. David Kelton takes over out there. Records out number 1. We're talking about a guy who's going to play center field. And Aaron Rowan, actually, the 2 center fielders, pretty interesting. Corey Patterson and Aaron Rowan, a couple of guys who certainly have 30 home run potential. One strike on White Sox first baseman Paul Konerko. I haven't mentioned Frank Thomas. He showed up at Sox camp last week, of course, coming off left ankle surgery, and he seems to be ahead of schedule, but the Sox have not put any time frame on when he'll return. He would love to be back before May 1st, but that probably won't happen. He was on crutches for a half year. Drilled foul. But the Sox have depth as well. Carl Everett will be their DH come opening day. You have to have depth if you're going to compete for a postseason berth. Rush gets a sign from the catcher Soto. And he just missed on a heater.
Oh, you're so right, Len. I mean, it's just inevitable. You're going to suffer injuries over the course of a season. You keep running your starting 8 or 9, counting the DH, and inevitably one of those guys is going to sprain an ankle or.
Deep to left. That ball is hooking, and it hits the foul pole. That's a home run. Paul Konerko has no idea. Okay, now he found out it's a home run. He didn't know if he was off the fence. Yep.
Really,
it's a 4-bagger.
He hit one like that back in the 5th inning, and the ball got knocked down by the wind and hit the top of the fence, so he wasn't going to take any chances this time. Maybe just to complete that thought, you have to have guys able to step in there, whether it be for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. You need somebody to step in and tread water until you can get your lineup back out there. Just a rocket off the bat of Konerko. Line drive that actually may have stayed underneath the wind.
And Konerko with 2 shots at a home run to left. Finally got it on this one. Doink. 6 long balls for the White Sox today. This guy hit a 2-run shot in the 5th. Joe Borchard. 2 hopper to Mayfi Perez.
One of those good news, bad news days for Glendon Rush. The good news is he was throwing strikes. The bad news is the White Sox were whacking it all over the ball.
Yeah, you're on TV. There you are. This is Jamie Burke. One and one. Burke batting for Pierzynski. One from Rush. Fouled away. Base hit into left in front of Macias. Thirteenth hit for the White Sox.
And just now we're starting to see some movement down there in that Cubs bullpen. And once again, even managers and pitching coaches aren't that concerned with numbers in spring training. Glendon Rush out there to get his work in. I'm sure they had a specific number of pitches they wanted to see him get to, and unless he has some kind of an injury or reason that he needs to come out of the game before they reach that number of pitches, he's going to continue to get his work.
Saw Michael Wirtz will be battling for one of those final bullpen spots. Back is short, and now drifting over is Ransom. Solo home run for Konerko, and it's now 9-5 White Sox.
The American Revolution drives into March, and we're bringing our A game with the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Now get bonus cash on a huge selection of Chevy vehicles. Use that bonus to lease an 05 Chevy Trailblazer LS 4-wheel drive for around $325 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. Big deals for the big dance, but hurry, offers end March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Legends set the standard. From the very beginning, Jack Benyon made his reputation by creating the finest casino experience. And more than ever, we offer exceptional service and the most generous rewards in the business. It's what we do, and no one does it better. So come and discover legendary indulgence only at Jack Benyon's Horseshoe Casino, Hammond.
You broke it off. Ooh, him.
5:30, 6:30, whatever you say. Right on the money. That would be excellent. Absolutely.
Okay, I think your turn is up.
But this is the only place I can get a good signal on my cell phone.
Mister, don't make me come up there.
Jerry, I think I'm going to lose you.
Need a better network? Switch to US Cellular and take our Best Network Challenge for 30 days. Then you'll be sure it's the best network for you. It's one more way we connect with you. US Cellular.
The Arby's Chicken Cheddar Jack Wrap. Crispy chicken, 2 cheeses, thick-cut pepper bacon in a delicious wrap. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
2, 3. Now the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Chevy. Hey, we got to get a couple of those for the regular season. Have some fun with it. It's 9-5 White Sox. Glendon Rush will get his second at bat as he faces John Atkins. Atkins came on, recorded the final out of the 6th. Some other changes for the White Sox. Jamie Burke stays in. He's a catcher. We'll get to the rest as the ball is hit their way. Let's see, your American League career was pretty brief, right? Toronto Blue Jays.
Extremely brief, yeah, about a half a season in 1989.
Moving to his right, but not getting to it is Lopez. There's Glendon Rush, 1 for 2. Well, it's obvious to say the DH is the big difference, but you've spent most of your career in the National League. What was the feeling like for you being unfamiliar with that league?
Well, it took a while to get used to, because especially being a catcher, there were a lot of times in the National League where if the catcher or the 8th spot would happen to make the last out of the inning, you would want to double switch when you bring a new pitcher into the ball game. So even in those games you didn't play, you had to be ready, especially when whoever played your position made the last out of the inning before. You had to anticipate that double switch coming up. In the American League, once batting practice was over, if you were not in the starting lineup, you made sure to get to the bullpen and get the most comfortable seat, because that's where you were going to be for the next 3.5 or 4 hours. There really isn't the same strategy involved, the same emphasis on using your roster and using your players wisely.
This could be a double play, and it is 4-6-3 as the Sox turn it. I have had an American League manager tell me, I won't name him, but he said he thinks in some ways it's more difficult to manage pitchers in the American League for this reason. He said, lot of times in the National League, because of the lineup and when the pitcher comes up, it's sometimes easy to make that decision. And in the American League, it's all about the pitcher and not the offense.
I'd have to agree with that. I mean, obviously there are times you will flip on an American League game in the 6th or 7th inning and the starters are still out there on the mound and the score is 9-5. But in the National League, that would never happen. You would never see the starting pitchers that deep into a ball game with that kind of a score, because you would have to pinch hit for the pitcher and make some kind of a move either to get back in the game or to add to your lead.
1-0 Peter Bergeron. Make it 1-1.
I think that's why there's such an emphasis on, as you mentioned earlier, depth and building a strong bench in the National League. Guys that you have available late in the ball game to pinch run or pinch hit, or perhaps a defensive replacement if you have a lead. Not quite as important in the American League.
Well, Ozzie Guillen spent most of his playing career in the American League, but a couple of years in the National League as a coach. Sure, that'll help him in interleague play. This will be his second campaign at the home of the White Sox.
And of course, Sox fans know that the White Sox share a facility down in Tucson with the Arizona Diamondbacks. At least they share the stadium. And in my past employment, it wasn't unusual to call over to Ozzie's office in the morning and ask if he could put together a B team to play a game. Either you had pitchers that needed innings or players that needed some at bats, and they weren't able to get them in what we used to call the varsity game in the afternoon. So we would schedule B games in the morning, and Ozzie was always very cooperative and would send over a team, and because he always had guys that he needed to get work for as well.
Full count on Bergeron. Well, one of the things I've always enjoyed about Ozzie Guillen, you ask him a question, he will answer it. If you don't want the answer, don't ask him. He will give it to you straight. Bench coach Harold Baines next to him. Off the glove of Atkins, and Bergeron will have an infield hit. Unless they give him an error, but that ball was hit pretty hard. We'll see.
Usually when a ball goes off a pitcher like that, they tend to give the batter a base hit. It looked like it was a play Atkins should have made, but once that ball was deflected, Bergeron still runs very well. He was going to beat that at first base, and it is indeed an infield hit.
Now Cody Ransom. And he went around. Bergeron being held on at first. And drifts inside. Cody Ransom signed a minor league contract over the winter. 9th round pick of the Giants back in '98. He, in fact, was born here in Mesa, went to high school in nearby Chandler. Went to Grand Canyon University. That's not actually in the Grand Canyon, is it?
As a matter of fact, it's over on the west side of downtown. Tim Salmon went to Grand Canyon. Some good ball players come out of that program.
I was going to say, if they were in the Grand Canyon, you'd have to take a helicopter ride every day to school. 3-1. Over his head. And the Cubs had 2 men on with 2 down. That is just the second walk of this ball game. Both teams have come out of hacking.
None of the hitters have allowed it to get to a 3-ball count very often. Yeah, we spoke about this on Saturday. It's that time of year. The last thing to come for an offensive player is your discipline in the strike zone, knowing what pitches you can handle, what pitches you can't handle. You come down here to Arizona or go down to Florida, the Grapefruit League, and you take a lot of batting practice, and you're swinging at every pitch that the coach throws up there, and suddenly you get into game action, and it's very easy to carry those same habits with you.
Canadian-born Danny Clausen, back born in Leamington, Ontario. He played on the 2004 Canadian Olympic team. Grew up in Florida. His family moved there when he was 2. He spent some time in the Brewers, Diamondbacks, Tigers organizations. And now in camp with the Cubs. Fouled back.
Danny's a guy that had a lot of injury problems in his days with the Arizona Diamondbacks. A lot of problems with his foot, a stress fracture that required him to wear one of those cam walkers for an extended amount of time. But when healthy and able to go out there and play, this is a guy that had a lot of tools. He runs well. He's got a little bit of pop in his bat. Very good defensively.
Outside. 2-2 on Clausen. Bottom of the 7th from Mesa. First meeting between the White Sox and the Cubs. They'll play again later this week in Tucson. I think he went around. He did. So that's a strikeout. Erwin Danley made the call. And the Cubs done in the 7th. They trail by 4.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Baltimore, Washington for just $79 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
The Hyundai Sonata is winning families over. Named highest-ranked entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. That straight-A dedication to initial quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's loaded with standard features, but costs $2,200 less than a Toyota Camry Standard when comparably equipped. So come test drive your Hyundai Sonata, starting at just $15,894. At your Hyundai dealer. Get a 2005 Hyundai Sonata with up to $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Time now for a Sports Night update.
Good afternoon, Pat Boyle with you in our Chicago studios. Here's what we have coming up tonight on Sports Night at 6:30. Cubs pitcher Mark Pryor will miss his next scheduled start because of inflammation in his elbow. The team says an MRI shows this problem is unrelated to last season's injuries. We'll have the latest at 6:30. No real surprise, Illinois is #1 in the final regular season AP poll. The Illini are getting ready for Fairleigh Dickinson in the opening round of the NCAA tournament on Thursday. More on Sports Night at 6:30. Now let's send it back to Len and Bob in the start of the 8th. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Pat. 9-5 White Sox. Lyndon Rush in his 4th inning of work today. Ryan Dempster went 4. 2 strikes on Valdez. He got the start at 3rd. Another great crowd, as we've mentioned. The attendance today here at Ho-Ho Camp, 12,697. Cubs averaging over 11,000 per game this spring. Well, if you can make it out the next couple of weeks before spring training ends, by all means, get out here. Backing up briefly is Ransom. Good arm, good accurate throw to Echeverria.
Yeah, if you're a baseball fan, this is heaven right now. There's 6 or 7 teams within 20 minutes of each other here in the Valley of the Sun. If you choose to take the drive down the freeway, about an hour and a half to Tucson, the Rockies, the White Sox, the Diamondbacks down there. Just a great time of year.
That's a strike. 0-2 on Pedro Lopez. Way outside. Our producer here today, Bob Albrecht. Dave Turner, our director. Tamara Anderson, our associate producer. And great to see production manager Jim Corno Jr. down here at spring training. Look forward to working with them all season long. Easy play as Mayfield makes a catch. Well, the Sox and Cubs fans can get along in spring training, but maybe not during the regular season quite like that. This is Pablo Ozuna. Good numbers at AAA. The Phillies organization last year. Laid down a successful suicide squeeze yesterday for the White Sox. Ozuna with big league time in Florida and with the Rockies. If you're a Midwest League minor league fan, you might remember Pablo Ozuna was the Midwest League MVP with Peoria back in '98. Lined and caught by Echeverria, another former Rocky. So a rare 1-2-3 inning in this one. 9-5 White Sox.
This is my city, the best city, where I grew up, got married, had a family. And the perfect vehicle for our family is the best, our Ford Explorer. Rush hour traffic, picking up from school, soccer, ballet, an evening alone. Explorer fits our lives, a DVD entertainment system, a great warranty, and room for all our stuff. Ford Explorer has it all, just like me.
Get $2,500 to $4,000 cash back, plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash, plus $1,000 owner loyalty cash on Ford Explorer. Built for Chicago, built for the road ahead.
Can't wait until April for baseball? Neither can we. That's why Comcast Sportsnet is delivering unprecedented spring training coverage. Get the first look at the new faces when we bring you the most spring training games ever shown. And our crew hits the road to Tucson and Mesa to deliver the latest news and interviews every night on Sports Night. It's coverage so in-depth, you'll feel like you're in Arizona. Well, except for the temperature. Spring training coverage all March long, only on Comcast Sportsnet. They're young, they're intense, and they're thinking playoffs. Kirk Heinrich and the young Bulls are primed to use team play, hustle, and defense to get to the postseason. And down the stretch, we're with them every step of the way.
It's showtime.
Big games. In-depth post-game coverage. And news, notes, and interviews every night on Sports Night. The Chicago Bulls are in the thick of it. Get your game on Comcast Sportsnet. Covering the bases Thursdays at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Watch the Cubs battle the Brewers Friday, April 8th and Saturday, April 9th at 1:20 on Magnet Schedule Day at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early to be one of the first 30,000 adults 21 and over to receive a Magnet schedule. That'll be the home opening weekend against Milwaukee. In fact, the home opener is April 8th. That's a Friday. Damaso Marte, left-hander, takes over for the White Sox. Third pitcher to work for Ozzie Guillen today. And he'll face Angel Echeverria for the Cubs, who trail 9-5. Marte works from the stretch. And that pitch is high. Bob, do you remember, I don't know what year it was, but boy, relievers never used to work out of the stretch with nobody on base. But these days, I would say a good maybe 75% of relievers will work from the stretch exclusively.
And I think it's just a byproduct of trying to keep your mechanics as consistent as possible. Obviously, when you're standing on the rubber facing the batter and go through a full windup, a host of things can go wrong before you let that ball go. But relievers, I think, discovered that out of their stretch, they can keep their mechanics much more consistent. They can get their arm in a better position to throw the ball, and it's just kind of worked its way around the leagues. I mean, even in high school baseball now, you see even starting pitchers working out of the stretch all the time just to try to keep their mechanics a little more consistent.
One guy who stands out who did not work from the stretch exclusively was John Smoltz, but that's because he had been a starter most of his career and will be a starter once again this year. And Echeverria with a leadoff walk here in the eighth. Now David Kelton saw Jeremy Brunitz go 0 for 2 with a sac fly today. Good bender for a strike. David played winter ball this year, suffered a broken knuckle in his right thumb in Venezuela. He was hit by a former Cub, Jeremy Gonzalez. Before that injury, Kelton hit 12 home runs in 56 games in Venezuela. Started out as a third baseman, moved across the diamond to first, and now as an outfielder. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. White Sox added to their bullpen in the offseason. Luis Vizcaíno came over from Milwaukee in the Posednik Carlos Lee deal, and Dustin Hermanson now with the White Sox. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. So one down here in the eighth, and it's Jose Macias. Jose. Of course, their closer, Shingo Takatsu, finished second in the American League Rookie of the Year balloting last year. So Ozzie Guillen has a lot of options late in games. Hermanson closed for a time with the Giants. Marte can do it. That's been a theme, hasn't it? Options. You love to have them all over the place in your roster.
I think the length of the season and just the fact, as I mentioned earlier, guys are going to get injured over the course of the season or go through stretches where they're ineffective. And if you have a plan B and in some cases a plan C and D, you feel much better about your chances going into a season than if all your eggs are in one basket, and if that guy happens to go down, you're in deep trouble.
Here's a pitch to Macias, low and away to make it 2-2.
I'll tell you, no better example than what happened to the Arizona Diamondbacks last year, and I know this firsthand. Made the big trade for Richie Sexson, gave up 6 players, including a lot of depth off the bench, a couple of starting players, and when Richie Sexson went down, we just were not able to withstand that loss. No matter who we tried to plug in, we just didn't have enough talented players to make up for the loss of that one key guy.
Well, again, hopefully the Cubs will not need to use an extra starter, but depending on the health status of Wood and Pryor, the Cubs do have some options. A guy like Sergio Mitre, who pitched last year in the rotation when Mark Pryor started out on the DL. Angel Guzman think the Cubs would rather see him start in the minor leagues this year. Some arm problems. A couple of walks in this inning. The Cubs are a batter away from putting the tying run at the plate. The pitching coach Don Cooper heading out to chat with his left-hander.
That doesn't make any difference if it's spring training or the postseason. You just don't like to see a pitcher put those base runners on when you have a big lead late in the game. Throw the ball over the plate. Let your defense work. We'll take our chances. You cannot defend that base on balls.
So first and second with one out, and it's Giovanni Soto, the catcher. Now 2-0. Echeverria at second. Macias the runner at first. Fouled away. I was just going to ask you, you have a guy struggling to throw strikes in a regular season situation. Probably going to make him throw a strike, but you have a young guy in Soto trying to make a name for himself, so the approach might be a little bit different in a spring training game.
Especially early in spring training. As you get down to that last week and guys are starting to fall into position where they're going to be with the club or where they're going to head to the minor leagues, and sometimes that will be the determining factor of whether you give the guy the green light or whether you ask him to go up there and take a strike.
Now a 2-2. That's upstairs. Full count. Long look into the catcher. And the payoff pitch. He struck him out. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Damaso Marte here in the inning. And we'll get another pinch hitter. It's going to be Ronnie Cedeno. Guy Jim Hendry mentioned the other day as someone who has caught his eye here in camp. Numbers at Double-A, West 10 last year. Very good defensively. Signed out of Venezuela in 1999. Cedeno just 22 years old. Two and one. Number on a one hopper, and Lopez will throw him out. So Damaso Marte struggled a bit with his command, but did not give up a run. It's still 9-5 after 8.
Lots of Toyota models, hundreds of choices. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event with thousands of amazing values. Now get 0% financing for 36 months or 500 customer cash on Matrix, Corolla, which is among the highest retained value in its class, or RAV4, which is among the lowest fuel cost in its class. And get great leases now on all 3 Toyotas. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event. Quality, selection, value. Now that's moving you forward.
A great matchup. Pitcher, Mussina. Hitter, Ramirez. Mussina deals. Check swing by Ramirez, but he'll get another one. Whoa, up and in. Ramirez clearly looking for a pitch.
If you can read it, you can rip it. The Hitter's Eye. Only in MVP Baseball 2005. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. To the game.
The American Revolution drives into March, and we're bringing our A game with the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Now get bonus cash on a huge selection of Chevy vehicles. Use that bonus to lease an 05 Impala sedan for around $247 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details. Big deals for the big dance, but hurry, offers end March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Fans, on Sunday, April 10th, the Cubs play the Brewers at 120. The first 20,000 fans will receive a scratch and win card, and 500 random winners will take home an MLB authenticated autographed Carlos Zambrano photo. Compliments of Van Campen. No purchase necessary. For complete rules, visit Wrigley Field or Cubs.com. Plan on arriving early for a chance to win. Compliments of Van Campen. Bob Brenly, Len Casper from Hohocan Park in Mesa. Cubs are trying to avoid what would be their fourth straight loss as they trail 9-5. And Mike Remlinger, who joined us in the booth early on, will pitch this ninth inning. Very valuable member of the Cubs bullpen. It's Juan Uribe chopping one foul past the Sox third base coach Joey Cora. Remlinger very effective against right-handed hitters. Been that way his whole career. He is not a lefty specialist.
And last season he held right-handers to a 191 batting average. No home runs against right-handed batters. Lefties, however, hit 303 with 3 homers. But in his career, it's fairly even, righties and lefties. And I think the reason why is the pitch before that, that straight changeup that you saw. He's able to keep that pitch on the outside part of the plate to a right-handed batter. Doesn't really have a great breaking ball to neutralize those left-handed hitters, but has the good changeup for the righties.
Throwing hard. That last one clocked at 110 on our gun. I think it might be the fast gun.
You think?
But you know what? We'll tell Mike after the game. We had you at 110.
110 on the gun, and that was his changeup.
There it is. He works from the windup with nobody on, and a strikeout for Remlinger. Remlinger, a former starter. Well, got the ivy covered here, right, in spring training.
Pitch down in the zone.
This is Brian Anderson. Not to be confused with the left-handed pitcher. Check swing, ground ball to Nafi Perez. Mike Remlinger will turn 39 later this month. Not thinking about retirement yet. He said, look, my health will dictate my thought process down the road. But he says his arm feels great. First time, really, he's been 100% since he's been a Cub. What a summer for Ryan Sandberg. He'll go into the Hall of Fame. He'll have his number 23 retired by the Cubs. It's great to see Rhino.
He's really had a good time down here this spring working with some of the young Cubs infielders and suiting up every day. Good to see Rhino back in uniform.
Had to learn a new autograph this year. The letters HOF 2005. High fly ball to left field. And under it is Macias to make the catch. Nice job by Mike Remlinger, working a 1-2-3 ninth. And the last chance for the Cubs. When we return, they trail 9-5.
Hey, Bobby. Well, I would have to rent a car for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Why not get right to the good part? Like Southwest Airlines Rapid Rewards. Fly free faster by earning double credit from Chicago Midway to any of our great destinations, including anywhere we fly in Florida.
You are now free to move about the country.
The beauty of the suit is that the bottoms match the top. So all you have to do is throw on a shirt and tie, and you're out the door. Get to work earlier, your productivity goes up, you get a bigger bonus, put the kids in better schools, they get better jobs, make tons of money, buy you a home to retire to on an island. No wonder suits are coming back.
Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
To contact the store nearest you, call 1-800-776-SUIT.
Get 4 after 4 for only $10.99 at Subway restaurants. Perfect for a quick dinner. 4 subs made fresh just the way you like it right in front of you. 4 after 4. Any 4 regular 6-inch subs every day after 4 p.m. for only $10.99. Pick up dinner for the whole family. 4 6-inch subs on your choice of Subway's fresh-baked gourmet bread. Wow, 4 6-inch subs for only $10.99 after 4 p.m. 4 after 4. Subway, eat fresh.
This Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. It's the sports show that has the whole town talking. Dan Jiggets and a rotating panel of sports writers and special guests discuss the day's hottest topics and get you ready for the night in sports. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live tonight at 5:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, an overcast day, but we have had mostly sunny skies at times. Good to see the clouds, actually. I thought they had completely disappeared. Kevin Walker, left-hander, will pitch now for the White Sox here in the 9th inning. Struggled in just 5 games with the Giants last year. And he'll face Nathy Perez. Cubs down by 4 with 3 outs to go. And ball 1 on Perez.
A little bit of a Cubs connection here with Kevin Walker. He was a high school teammate of Kerry Woods back in Grand Prairie, Texas. That had to be a pretty darn good high school team.
Oh, yeah. High in the air to left field. Drifting back is Sweeney, just in front of the track to make the catch. Well, our Hyundai player of the game, Cubs first baseman Derek Lee. 3 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and scored a run today. And he's our Hyundai player of the game. Peter Bergeron with an infield hit in the 7th. Slightly open stance and takes a strike. He held up. He did. Kevin Walker in his big league time with the Padres and the Giants. Hey, guess what? He had Tommy John surgery. There's going to be a point where just about every pitcher in the big leagues, you'll just say, well, what year was it? 2001.
Well, obviously, any surgery is major and involves a lot of hard work and rehabilitation to come back and be effective once again. But you really do see a lot of guys come back from the Tommy John surgery throwing harder than they did before.
And he whiffs on strike 3, so Bergeron's out. So the Cubs down to their final chance here. And it'll be Cody Ransom. This is a good day to have that outfit on because game time temperature 71. I don't know how good that would feel when it's 88.
That all started with just a couple of seeds in his pocket.
Yeah, 9 o'clock this morning. Two strikes on Ransom. 7 home runs today, 6 from the White Sox. Valdez, or rather Ozuna, I believe, over third, will throw out Ransom, and that'll do it. So the White Sox beat the Cubs today, and the final score is 9-5. Send it back now to the Comcast Sportsnet studio and Dan Jiggets.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. And here are some of the stories coming up on Chicago Tribune Live at 5:30. Cubs pitcher Mark Pryor will miss tomorrow's scheduled start because of inflammation in his elbow. Pryor experienced soreness after pitching on Thursday. And Bruce Weber's Fighting Illini squad back in Champaign, getting ready for Thursday's first-round tournament game against Fairleigh Dickinson. That game will take place at 8:30 in Indianapolis. We'll have more of these stories, plus talk some baseball with Bill Melton and Dan Plesac. But right now, let's send it back to Lynn and Bob.
All right, thank you, Dan. Well, for Bob Brenly, Len Casper is saying so long from Ho-Ho-Camp Park. Final score again today. White Sox hit a ton of home runs, and they beat the Cubs 9-5. Stay tuned for the business of sports. You've been watching Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.
Think about the roads people drive on. How each one is different. Then you build a family of cars that treats them all the same. The 2005 Volvos with electronically controlled all-wheel drive. For confidence on any road.
All spring training long, turn to Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet for in-depth reports. Our crew brings you the latest news and interviews straight from Mesa and Tucson. Spring training reports on Sports.